Santiago Avellaneda.
Presente.
Francisco Borges. Francisco. Heidi Joana. Heidi Joana. Can you hear me, guys? Okay. Samuel.
Sí.
Samuel.
Samuel no está en la reunión, Miss.
Here.
Es que él tiene excusa, él está viajando. Sí. Y pues de Samuel voy yo. Entonces presente, Miss, de una vez.
Okay. María Angélica.
Presente.
Sara Giraldo. Sara Lucía Jaimes.
Mi Sara tiene problemas con el computador.
Thank you. Valeria.
Presente.
María Fernanda Lizarazo. María Fernanda Lizarazo.
Presente.
Juan Sebastián Mora.
Presente.
Suri.
Presente.
Roxana.
Presente.
Juan David. Juan David.
Misa, Juan David se le fue la luz, me escribió con datos.
Julián Andrea.
Presente.
Alejandra.
Presente.
Fergie.
Presente.
Juan Sebastián Tarazona.
Presente.
Diego.
Presente, Miss.
Isabela.
Presente.
Okay, guys, please open the booking page. Let's see the page. This page.
Miss,
Page 71.
Miss, tengo una pregunta. ¿Nosotros ya cerramos tercer periodo o todavía seguimos con actividades del tercer periodo?
Yes, we finished the third term.
Entonces las actividades que vamos a hacer de ahora en adelante son del cuarto.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
So today we are going to learn how to use have to, not have to, or can't. Here we have this activity. Okay, here we are going to answer the questions about the words involved. So which words mean there is a rule to do this? We have don't have to, and can't. What do you think is the correct word to say that is a rule to do this? Don't have to, or can't. That is a rule. This is page 71. Yeah, am I right? Yes, 71. Page 71, exercise B. Exercise 5B. Okay, tell me guys. Which words mean there is a rule to do this? Can't, have to, or don't have to? Where is the correct? Have to, very good. Thank you, Carolina. Have to. Which words mean there is a rule to do this? Have to. We use it. We use it here, have to say there is a rule to do this. have to. Thank you. Next, which words mean this is not necessary? It's missing don't have to and can't. What could be the correct word for saying this is not necessary? Thank you. Don't have to. Forget it. Don't have to. And for saying that this is not allowed. The missing one. Can't. Okay. Today we're going to learn how to use have to, don't have to, and can. As you can see, we use have to talk about rules or an obligation, okay? And we use don't have to for things that are not necessary to do. And can't, well, we use can't to talk about prohibitions or things that you are not allowed to do. Okay. Here we have some examples. You have to start school at 9 a.m. See, this is an obligation. This is a rule. You have to. For example, in a question, okay, in a question, here we are using present simple. We have the auxiliary, the subject, and we have to. When we are talking, remember that when we are talking about he, she, and it, we use instead of have, we use, tell me. Instead of saying have to, we said no. What is the conjugation for the verb to have? He and she and need what? Has, very good. Thank you, Carolina. Remember that these are the third person. He has, she has, and it has. Okay. But for the other subjects, we use have. You have, I have, they have, and so on. Okay, they have to, sorry. I have to, you have to, it has to, she has to, and he has to. Okay, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Now, talking about the questions. As you can see, we start with the auxiliary, that is do. Do they have to wear a uniform? That's easy peasy, okay? Remember that this is an obligation. Now, talking about things that are not necessary, we use you don't have to. You don't have to take the course, but you can if you want. Okay, this is not necessary to do. For that, we use don't have to. It's the same here. It's the same. She doesn't, because when we are talking about the third person, we have to conjugate the verb, okay? For she, for he, and for it. So she doesn't have to. It doesn't have to, and he doesn't have to. Remember that is something that is not necessary. Here we are going to use don't have to or doesn't have to. Easy. Now talking about prohibitions, things that you are not allowed to do. For example, students can't use a calculator during the exam. Okay. You can write also cannot. And this doesn't change for the other subjects. So you can say he cannot. Or you can say also he can't. She can, and so on. This is for prohibitions, for things that you are not allowed to do. You can't use the dictionary during the class. You can't use, for example, use your cell phone in the classroom. Things that you are not allowed to do. Who wants to tell me some examples? Let's start with obligation. You have to. Give me an example using you have to. Sorry, have to. Remember that this is an obligation. Tell me an example. Tell me an example, guys. I have to study for the bimestral. Very good. Very good. I have to study for the bimestral. That's an obligation. It's an obligation that you have.
También podría ser she doesn't have to work.
But that's when we're talking with don't have to, when it's something is not necessary, but here we're talking about obligations, okay? Remember, but that's a good example, Daniela. That's a good example. Mom, give me some examples with have to.
She has to clean his room. Podría ser.
Can you say it again? She has to clean
Her room.
her room. Very good. She has to clean her room. Very good. Nice example. Nice. Now, talking about things that are not necessary to do. Here we have an example. Thank you, Carolina. You don't have to go to the party if you don't want, okay? It's not an obligation. It's something that you can do if you want, okay? It's not necessary to go. Tell me, Daniela, your sentence.
She doesn't have to work.
She doesn't have, she doesn't have to work. Very good. She doesn't have to work. Nice. Thank you. Santiago, please give me an example using don't have to.
Un ejemplo con don't have. I don't have a picture. I don't have ¿cómo se dice esto en inglés?
I can hear you. Can you say it again?
I don't have a picture.
No, it's something that you don't have to do. Something that is not necessary to do. Look at the examples. You don't have to take the course, but you can want. You don't have to go to the party if you don't want. You don't have to eat vegetables if you don't want. Or eat ice cream.
I don't have to clean my house.
I don't have to clean my house. Very good. It's something that is not necessary to do. You can do it if you want. Very good. Here we have another example. You don't have to eat pizza. Very good. Very good example, Isabella. Now, talking about prohibition. What are the things that you are not allowed to do in class? Give me an example. Things that you are not allowed to do in class, during the class. Using can't. Maria Angelica, give me an example. Things that you are not allowed to do in class. That is a prohibition.
Rayar la pantalla sin permiso.
Rayar la pantalla.
Salirse de la clase.
But in English, try to do that.
Sería como leave the class.
You don't, so students can leave the meeting, the Zoom meeting, okay? Students can leave the Zoom meeting. Very good. What are the other things that you can do in class? It's a prohibition.
Ya.
For example,
Eat in the class. In the class.
The
She cannot
student
eat in the class.
can't interrupt the teacher in no sé cómo decir explicación en inglés.
explanation. Very good. Very good. Nice example, Maria Angelica. Well done. We also, you students can eat during the class. A prohibition. You can do that. Students can use your notebooks on the bimestral. But their notebooks, sorry. Students can use their notebooks during the exam. During the bimestral. Very good. Very good examples. Tell me the things that you are not allowed to do in your houses, at your home.
Que no se puede hacer.
Obviously, you have to use here can't. Things that you are not allowed to do. So maybe because you're a child, like kids, there are many rules for you. Many things that you are not allowed to do. Here we have another example. The students cannot turn off the camera. Very good. Thank you. There are many people here that have the camera off.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So the things that you are not allowed to do in your houses, tell me. What are the things that you are not allowed to do?
Play in the rooms, eso es.
But the complete sentence using can't?
We can't, pues nosotros tres, play in the room.
Very good. Very good. That's a prohibition. Very good. I can stay up very late. Very good. This is a prohibition for Carolina. Very good. Who wants to tell me another? Another example. Things that you are not allowed to do at home. Usually when we are kids, we have many rules and many things that we are not allowed to do.
Sí, por ejemplo, como colocar la mano en una cosa de enchufar, pero no sé cómo decirlo.
Here we have another example. I can't make noise when someone is sleeping. Very good. It's a prohibition. Okay, as you can see, so we use have to for obligation. For rules, we use don't have to or doesn't have to for things that are not necessary to do. Okay, you are not obligated to do it. Now, talking about prohibitions, we use can't. Okay, can't, and that's all. Prohibitions or things that you are not allowed to do. remember that when we are talking about prohibitions, we have to use can't in negative, okay? In negative, that's all. Do you have any questions about this? Questions, Maria Angelica? Santiago, questions?
No.
Everything is clear? Diego, everything is clear?
Señora.
Do you have any question about this? Okay, thank you very much. Let's continue. Now, here is the activity that you have to do right now. First of all, we are going to choose the correct options to complete the hotel rules, okay? And then we continue with our writing activity. So here you have to choose the correct option. You have to or don't have to or can and so on. So for this first one, we are going to say yes, have to or don't have to. Say, what is the correct option?
Have to
Don't have
pay
to.
extra. No, don't have.
Very good. Guests don't have to pay an extra $8 if they want breakfast. It's not necessary, okay? Now, the second. Guests have to or can't sit at the same table every day. The room numbers are on the tables.
Have to.
Have to. This is a rule. Very good. What about the third? Guests don't have to or can't choose the cooked breakfast. Cereal and toast are also available.
Don't have to. Oh, no, quieren. Tal vez. ¿Quieren? Espero que es gust.
Can't.
Gust.
Uh-huh,
Yes,
guess what?
Gust. Es gust.
Those?
Yo
Guess?
creo que es
Yes,
can't.
gust.
Like invitados, like ¿cómo se dice en español? Bueno, invitados. Do you have any question, Diego?
No, era sobre lo de la imagen que uno tenía que describir que había.
La presentas en la tarde.
Ujú.
Los huéspedes, ¿no?
So, guess. So what was the answer? Sorry. Don't have to or can't? What do you think? This is an obligation? Yes, huéspedes. Thank you so much. Yes. Invitados, huéspedes.
Yo creo que es can't.
This is an obligation. What do you think?
Have to. Don't have to.
Don't have to.
Yo creo que es can't.
Yes, it's can't. Yes, can choose the cooked breakfast. Cereal and toast are also available. Okay. That's the answer. Now, 4. Yes, don't have to or have to arrive for breakfast before 9 a.m. when the kitchen closes. Don't have to or have to?
Have to.
Have to.
Have to.
That was easy. Now, number 5. Yes, can't or don't have to?
Can't.
Don't have to.
Can't. It's not allowed to do that. Not allowed to do that. Look at here. This is not allowed. Look at here. This is not allowed. 6. Guests can or have to?
Have to.
Have to check out before 10 a.m. or we will charge them for an extra day. That was very easy. Okay, questions? Now, here is the activity. You're going to do this alone. You're going to imagine that you're,
Miss,
yes,
voy a colocar un momentico atrás lo de Outer Roles. Me faltaron las dos últimas.
oh, but, okay. Give me a second, I'm going to write it again.
Las dos últimas, las 5 y las 6, ¿cuáles eran las respuestas?
How to take out.
Listo, Miss, gracias.
You're welcome. So this,
Me dices esto después lo tenemos que enviar.
no. Well, guys, here you are going to imagine that you're a managing director of a new company. You have to write a list of rules that will keep your employees happy and productive and make your company successful. Think about these factors. Okay, working hours, meetings, food and drink, social activities, breaks during the day, days off, vacations, work loss, and communication. You know that you have to use, don't have to, things when we are going to talk about things that are not necessary. Have to, that is a rule, okay, a rule, and we use can for things that are not allowed to do, okay. Please start writing at least 6 rules, okay? Six rules. Remember that you can have these factors in mind when you're going to write your rules. Let's start. Questions? Did you understand the activity?
Miss, tía, es una tía, otra tía. Miss, ¿otra tía de práctica o es que hay que enviarle esto después cuando hayamos terminado?
This is a practice activity.
Miss, pero ¿cómo así? Ah, pero-
Okay, here we are going to imagine that you're a managing director of a new company, that you are the boss. Okay, you're the boss. So write a list of rules that will keep your employees happy and productive and make your company successful. Okay, here we have some factors. Working hours, for example. You don't have to work after 5 p.m. For example.
Sería que no tendrán que trabajar más de... Ay, me suena, pues.
Yes.
Es que estoy pensando la hora.
Okay. Remember that you have to use don't have to or doesn't have to, depending on the subject, has to or have to, and can't. Let's start the activity.
The workers don't have to work more than I think 8 hours.
Now write it. You have to write your sentences on your notebooks. At least 6 rules. So, Lucia, Sara, Sergi, Alejandra, Heidi, Roxana, Suri, Diego, please turn on your cameras.
Es que es meetings.
What is what?
Meetings.
Ah, like reunions. Uh-huh. Okay. So tell me your sentences. Because class is almost finished, it's almost over. So everyone is going to tell me a rule for your company.
Solamente hice
Es que
dos.
no sé.
So let's start with Daniela. Okay, Daniela, tell me one of your rules.
Mi pregunta, esto,
Ay, se me trabó.
¿viste? Esto es nota. Al
Ay.
presentarse las notas.
No, eso es de práctica.
Ah, vale.
Es que solo se puede Karen. No se puede.
No,
otra
no,
cosa.
no. Obviously, you can use don't have to and have to. Remember. Tell me your sentence. Tell me your sentence.
Le puede ser una, nada más.
Yes, yes, you can do it. You can do it.
The workers don't have to have a formal clothes.
The workers don't have to wear.
They
Can't?
can go informal.
Sorry, sorry.
No, the workers don't have to. Sí, es eso.
Don't have to. Don't have to wear formal
Ay.
clothes. Formal
Sí.
clothes. Sorry, formal clothes. Very good. I like it. What about Maria Angelica? Maria Angelica, tell me your sentence. Maria Angelica, can you hear me? Tell me your sentence. Remember that you can use don't have to, can, and have to.
Bueno, entonces yo debo. The workers don't have.
Ocurre una, no se me ocurre una.
The workers have to communicate with the boss, with me.
The workers have to like talk directly with you always.
No, o sea, me refiero a las llamadas importantes. Cuando
Ah,
dice que ya le paso. ya se le pasó.
okay. The workers have to I don't remember the word. Well, we're going to use communicate. Have to communicate the goals to the boss. Very good.
¿Puedo decirle una de mis oraciones
yes,
o frases?
yes, of course. Okay, tell me your sentence.
Yo
Carolina.
puse, the employers can't leave the company alone, so they have to take turns for breaks.
The employers don't have to. Sorry, can you repeat it?
Can't. The employers can't leave the company alone, so they have to take turns for breaks.
Say
For breaks.
Ya estamos en descanso.
take turns. Ay, escribí como 2 veces. So they have to take turns for breaks. Yes, am I right?
Yes.
The employers can leave the company alone, so they have to take turns for their breaks. Very good. Excellent. Thank you so much. That's it. It was easy. Thank you, Carolina. So guys, see you tomorrow. Bye bye. And I'll see you in the afternoon. Bye bye.
Bye, Miss.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Daniela.
¿Ves la grabación?